welcome back. I'm here in Marfa, Texas. Excited to be here. I came down here a couple of years ago. Well, actually 3 years ago now. It was before I got the van. My daughter and I drove down, and we actually stayed at a hotel in Alpine. So this is the first time I'm here with the van. I'm actually staying at a little RV park called the Tumble Inn. I'm going to stay here for a few days. It's $30 a night, so a full hookup. So that's a pretty good deal. I actually got here yesterday, and I did a little bit of video coming into Texas with the Guadalupe Mountains, and then I drove past. Coming in from that direction was Prada Marfa. If you're not familiar with that, it's actually an art installation that looks like a Prada store in the middle of the desert. But it's not a real store. It's actually an art installation. I thought I had read, I think the original intent when they built it was that they were just going to let it kind of deteriorate. But I think it was so popular now they keep it maintained. So you can't go in it or anything like that, but you can take your picture in front of it and whatnot. Kind of cool. They actually filmed the movie Giant here in Marfa. I'm not sure what year it came out. It came out in the mid-1950s. It's got Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, and James Dean. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it. I think it's like 3 hours long. So if you decide to watch it, well, of course, the convenience of being able to watch it at home, you can pause it and everything. But it's a great movie. But they filmed it here, and so there's right outside town is another art installation, which actually, if you look at the header on my YouTube channel, is a photo of it. I don't know what you would call them because they're flat. They're not billboards, but they're flat. But they're images of scenes from the movie. Michael Nesmith from from the Monkees, if you remember the Monkees, actually wrote music that is played on a loop out there at that installation. I guess it's powered by solar or whatever. I don't know when I go out there and film it, I may or may not keep the music in there, only because I don't know what the copyright is on it, if I can play it or not. So maybe I can play like a second of it. I think this one is new. I'm guessing this is actually the current owner of the property. I don't know if you can hear the music, but that's the music that's on loop. The sun goes down and the midnight shadows fall. I will think of you. So this was the actual filming location for Giant. Let's see, we can kind of zoom in here. That is the windmill from the set, or what's left of it. I'm not sure if that little oil pump was part of it or not, or if it's just there because that's what the movie's about. So the actors stayed at the hotel in town called the Hotel Paisano. So that should be open. So I may go over there and just kind of walk around. They have a gift shop in there too. So that should be open. Maybe a coffee shop or something. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to kind of walk around. But I'm going to be here for a few days so I can catch some of the things that aren't open today. So I'm here at the Marfa Lights viewing area. Actually, I'm the only one here, surprisingly, but I guess I'm kind of early. It's about 7 o'clock. So maybe people will come, I guess, once it gets darker. Because I know last time when Lauren and I were here 3 years ago, was quite a few people here. But they have a viewing platform up here. I'll go check it out. So this is the viewing platform. They even have these, I guess, telescopes. Is that what they're called? To see it better, because the lights are way off there in the distance. Hopefully we'll get a good view tonight. So there's the back of the viewing area to view out there. And this is the front of the viewing area off the road. Oh wow, I didn't realize it's like over 100 years. Wild. And then this marker is about the airfield. I'm getting ready to leave Marfa. Been here about 3.5 days. I'm gonna head to Marathon, which is not quite an hour from here, just to kind of see what's there. I don't know that there's very much there. It's a pretty small town, but I did see that there's actually like a coffee shop that looks really interesting. So might stop and get coffee there. And then they also have like a little garden, and I don't know if it's part of the old hotel, Western hotel that they have there. But it looks like it's real pretty, so might check that out. It is pretty hot out, so we'll see how it goes. I don't have any plans of where I'm staying tonight. There's a town that's probably about the halfway point to Georgetown, which is where I'm staying at the the Corps of Engineers campground. So that town has like a little RV park, but I think it's like first come first serve. So we'll see if there's a spot. Plus I need to take out some cash, so I gotta find an ATM because they only take cash or check, and I don't have any checks. But hopefully, otherwise I'm going to drive the full 6 hours, which isn't unreasonable. I mean, I've done longer than that. I just try to keep the drives shorter. But if I have to, I'll see if I can get a spot at the Corps of Engineers campground for tonight, because I don't check in until tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll see what Marathon has. I got here yesterday to the Georgetown Jim Hogg Corps of Engineers campground. It's really nice. I have a real nice spot here, and I'll put some video in. Got a nice view out here. What I like about these sites is that they're not right on top of each other, which that's usually the case with the Corps of Engineers and state park campgrounds, is that you have more space. And the area that I'm in, there's like nobody around me. There is a camper probably about 5 or 6 sites down that way. But I pretty much have this area to myself, which is really nice. And then I have this view kind of this little valley back here. Like I said, I'll put some video in here. Of course, it's incredibly hot and humid out. At least it's right now not windy, so I can have my awning out. So kind of gives me a little shade on this side once the sun kind of goes in this direction. Although it is a little cloudy, so I don't know. There definitely look like humidity clouds. There was some rain. We didn't get it here, although it threatened. But there were like little storms that kind of skirted around us yesterday. But anyway, I did go through Marathon yesterday on my way here. Stopped at that little coffee place I mentioned, and it was adorable. Ended up having lunch there, and it was actually pretty busy. I was surprised. Probably a lot of business from the hotel, I would imagine. And the hotel looked really interesting. The Gage Hotel, which pretty much is almost the entire downtown, because it's a very small town. But the hotel is really, really well maintained, at least from the outside. I didn't go into the lobby or anything, but it looks almost like a resort. So it's at that level. It's, they're keeping it up really nice. And I noticed coming in, there was a building that I think was a spa. I don't know that it's tied to the hotel, but I'm sure they work together. I don't know. But and then I drove past the Gage Gardens. I didn't stop because when I went through there was no cars, as far as like nobody visiting it. And the only cars and people that were there were like setting up for some kind of event, either a wedding or some other event. I'm not really sure. So I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't go in. But it looked interesting, and it definitely is tied to the hotel. There was a van. They had shuttle vans, and there was a van that was over there. But yeah, definitely interesting. So yeah, I got here yesterday afternoon. Of course, stopped at HEB because that's what you have to do. I was suffering from HEB withdrawals because that was, I guess, what did the lady tell me? There was a lady I talked to at one of the gift places. Marfa Mood is the name of it. And she was saying that the nearest HEB, I think, from Marfa was like 3 hours away. But, I waited till I got up here. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and close the video here, and I'll finish out with some scenes and video from Marfa and the surrounding areas. I will see you in the next video.